I'm back with a huge Overwatch 2 update for all of you. So finally, they're going to do some balance changes. So if you haven't been aware of the situation, Sojourn's totally OP. Sombra and Genji are really strong, among other various things. So there's a new post on the forums. They're talking about balance changes. I'm going to go through that with you. I'll also link it in the description of this video if you want to read it yourself or reference it or link it to a friend or something like that. So over here on the Overwatch forums, this is Andy B, and he says, with several weeks in the books, we've been so humbled and honored that over 25 million players have answered the call to Overwatch 2. I was curious about that. So 25 million players have at least downloaded and tried playing the game? That's pretty crazy. Anyway, with the live service now more stable, we'd like to take some time to focus on what we have planned for hero balance in an upcoming game update, prior to the changes that we have planned for Season 2. Something we'll have more to say on later. I want to stop for a second and say, I'm so glad that they're doing some balance changes early. I was literally right on the verge of making a video to bitch about, I guess nothing's changed. Like, I'm literally playing my ranked games. Every single game, it feels like, I have a moment where it's either me or someone else, and you'll hear me say, yep, Sojourn's a balanced character, by the way. Yep, totally balanced character. Like, Sojourn specifically. It's like the one that you just can't look away from. But there's other things that are unbalanced too. But Sojourn is just insane. If they better address it in here, it's just going to be just insane. Like, Overwatch 1 all over again, where you'd have a busted character for like 3 months before they do anything. Everyone knows it's busted, and they're just like, well, the data says... Anyway, sorry. I could go on and on. Anyway, while we talked about our plans for Season 2 in a previous dev blog, there are some hero balance adjustments we'd like to make sooner, thank God. As promised, we're focused on some tactical adjustments meant to bring current standouts like Diva, Zarya, Genji, and Sombra more in line with the rest of the roster. Wait a minute. No Sojourn? There better be Sojourn in here. I'm gonna lose my mind. Alright, Sombra. Hackability lockout duration reduced from 1.75 to 1.5. So, like, the lockout duration, if you're not aware, it's how long till you can use your abilities in. When Sombra hacks you, was a 1.75, now 1.5 second window where you couldn't use any abilities. And then after that, you take, the whole time you take more damage, but there's only that small window where you can't use abilities. Well, that's narrowed a little bit more. Hacked enemies are no longer valid targets for hacking for the duration of the effect. So I'm not 100% on this, but my assumption that means that the hack duration was longer than the hack cooldown, so you could keep someone eternally hacked. If you just, I guess that's it. Hacked damage multiplier reduced from 40% to 25%. Now, that's the big thing that matters for the Sombra thing, like, because that made Zenyatta not playable, as an example. I mean, there's so many other things to think about, but that made Zenyatta not playable because she could appear in the backline, hack him, and just, if the Sombra has good aim, Zen's dead no matter what, if your team doesn't immediately react. So at low rank, Zen's dead no matter what, because your team's not going to immediately react. Anyway, dev comment. With Sombra's rework, she gained a lot more damage to help account for the reduced ability lockout duration of hack. This has proven to be too deadly for a flanker with easy access to enemy backlines, and we've similarly had to address the damage output of heroes like Tracer, Reaper, and now Genji in the 5v5 format. She can also no longer channel hack on an already hacked target, as feedback indicated the reduced cooldown combined with hacking from stealth proved to be too frustrating for many players. Yeah, I'm sure it's annoying. This is essentially a per-target cooldown that enables hack to keep its 4-second cooldown for potentially hacking multiple targets. Okay, that's just good. I think that's a good change. We'll see how it goes. I mean, she'll probably still be, like, strong. I don't know. Is she still going to be meta? I don't know. I don't know, actually. EMP's still pretty good just because it does raw damage and stuff. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Genji. Maximum ammo reduced from 30 to 24. So that's 2 sets of shuriken throws, because he throws 1, 2, 3, or he just throws 3. So if you know, that's 2 shots basically that he has reduced, and the damage is reduced from 29 to 27. I think that's a good change. Is it going to be enough to rein in Genji? Maybe. I feel like it's probably not going to be enough to rein Genji in, but it'll help. Like, as far as like a short term, let's make a quick balance change just to make the game a little bit better. Like, even if it's not enough, for a quick balance change before the change end of a season, just to like kind of improve the playing field some. Definitely a good change. I don't know. I like this. It's actually a big improvement over Overwatch 1. Where Overwatch 1, it was like, no change for 3 months, then bam, changed way too much, and now Genji sucks. Like, instead of being like, let's reduce the number by 1. And then by 1 again. And then 1 again. Ah, we found the sweet spot. They never did that. So this is a little bit more like what I would like to see. As far as bounce actually makes sense. So again, even if it's not enough, it's a good step. Anyway, Dev comment. Genji is a hero that has greatly benefited from the move to 5v5. Changing to a single tank and the reduction of crowd control has meant Genji has had less obstacles in his way. However, he hasn't received tuning updates since he wasn't actively in the meta until launch, something also informed by our general preference to avoid preemptive adjustments when possible. We also saw that in the early beta tests, other flanking heroes such as Tracer and Reaper were also significantly more effective in Overwatch 2. These changes will bring Genji more in line with the other flanking damage heroes. Yeah, it's a good change. All right, so Zarya. All right, barrier. I don't even read it yet. I'm like, yeah, that's probably good. I mean, I can tell you right now, the barriers are kind of obnoxious the way it goes. So, barrier duration reduced from 2.5 to 2. That is probably the most important thing. It's not so much that she has 2 barriers. It's that, like, if you don't want to feed her charge, you have to wait way too long. So, like, she uses a bubble, and you're like, I guess I don't want to charge her. I'm just going to, like, zigzag and try not to die to her and to wait for it to be over. Oh, it's over. I'm going to attack. She uses another one. You're like, all right, 5 seconds of I don't want, like, so she's just in a matter of kind of full charge. Like, why would you? It's just ridiculous. Barrier cooldown increased from 10 to 11 seconds. Now, again, I like that these are small changes. Like, is it enough to rein Zarya in? Probably not. But is it enough to make it so your life doesn't just totally suck ass when playing against Zarya? It'll definitely help. It'll make it suck significantly less in the moment. So, yeah, that's good. It's a good step. And if it's not enough, if they do like that one more time and it goes like 2.5 to 1.75 and goes from 11 to 12 or something, it's like just go a little bit until you find that spot. That'd be a great way to bounce. I hope they do. Dev comment. Early player sentiment predicted Zarya as one of the weakest solo tanks in 5v5, though her high damage potential and barrier uptime have proven to be extremely effective. For opponents, feedback has indicated this can feel as though Zarya has very limited windows of vulnerability, which feels difficult to deal with when combined with her rampaging I like the way they said that. Rampaging damage potential. Yeah, it's very true. These changes will reduce the barrier uptime, making it slightly more difficult for her to gain energy and will provide enemies with more time to deal damage to her. There's something really important to think about in this. So, like they said, where is this? Early player sentiment predicted she was weak. And that's something you have to know about Overwatch in general, the way that Overwatch works, where metas don't form overnight. It usually takes a few weeks, maybe even a month or two, usually a few weeks, like 2 to 4 weeks of experimentation with people just mix matching random things in comp just because that's how it goes. People just play random stuff. And people slowly are like, wait a minute, well, we had that and that synergy was crazy. Let's do that again. And then they go in the next game and they're like, hey, can you play Zarya? I want to try this thing. And next thing you know, it just kind of spreads like wildfire, becomes meta. And so in the beta test, there weren't enough players for that to really happen as effectively. So it's harder for them to know. But the big thing is that people realized, and it's what I've seen in my comp games with Zarya, that if you just pocket the hell out of Zarya with something, either a Moira or an Ana, or really Moira or Ana, and you just follow her around and you're just like Moira healing her, or just, throw a nade, just spam on her constantly and let her just eat damage so she can just stand there and be obnoxious and like bail her out when she gets out of position and has no bubbles and stuff, then she just farms. She's just insane. But if you don't support her like that in a 5v5 when she's the only tank, then she's bad. Also, of course, the Zarya has to be good too and know how to play. But, in my Grandmaster games, it's like, all right, I can go Moira, which is like a combo you would never have imagined in Overwatch 1. You're going to have Zarya with a Moira, and Moira's going to follow the Zarya around and use heal orbs and spray on her to keep her alive while she just eats crap and just like feeds. And then you win the game. Like, it's the weirdest thing. And then also Lucio's good because then you can give her mobility so she can't just get like, swarmed. It just depends. But it's like once people realize the combos that go with something, then suddenly something can be, because it's not just one hero other than Sojourn. Sojourn is broken. But it's not just one hero usually. What it usually is if you have this and you combo it with this, then you break the game. That's almost always how it goes. And that's what people have realized with Zarya. If you combo certain things with her, she's insanely strong. Anyway, Diva. All right, so Diva. Fusion cannon spread increased from 3.5 to 3.75. That's good. She does way too much damage now. Boosters impact damage reduced from 25 to 15. All right, again, I like this. Just incremental change. Will it rein her in at high rank? At low rank, I don't know what it's like, guys. I really don't. But at high rank, will it rein her in? Maybe. I think for Diva, this one will actually rein her in a little bit more than some of the other ones. Because her main thing was in high rank, she just does so much damage when she's accurate. It's just insane. Like, she just gets on you and you're just like, you're dead. There's nothing you can do. She just chases you and kills you. Like suicide bomber. It's crazy. I think this will be enough to make her more balanced. I don't know that they'll need more after this, but we'll have to see. Diva ended up feeling too deadly after the last round of changes, given how resilient she can be with improved defense matrix. Both our stats and high-level player feedback regarded her as not effective enough before that compared with other tanks. So this is a partial revert to establish some middle ground here. I don't know. The way that sentence was read was weird, but okay. Kiriko, Swift Step and vulnerability duration reduced from 0.4 to 0.25. That's actually massive change for Kiriko. Like, that's because now it's like, that's gonna be the problem I have with this as a balance change is this one's kind of going to be a scenario where this is a great balance change for high rank, for Overwatch League, for something like that. But for low rank, it's gonna just make her kind of suck in a way. It's gonna be a big nerf for low rank, because at low rank, the expected skill with something as precise as her ability with the invuln is, it's like the expected skill level is gonna be much lower. Like, Jenna, if you're in gold, it's like you're lucky if the person does it correctly at all, let alone times it perfectly. So it's like once you narrow that window, it's like it's only gonna be used as a cleansed. And will your person even react even then? But something like invulning Diva bombs and things like that, it's like it starts to get a lot more sketchy at lower ranks when people are like not quite as good with those timings. Where at high ranks, people will make do, right? You're just like, oh, here comes Genji Blade, and his dash is gonna be right now. I throw it, and he dashes in. His first swing doesn't do anything. It's like you're only gonna invuln one swing because it's so short now. If you time it perfectly, whereas at low rank, a scenario like that's like not even possible. The old one is kind of possible. You just throw it ahead of time, and he dashes in, and you have a hole. Anyway, we'll see how that goes though, because I actually have changed her on Kiriko. I don't know that she's S rank at high tier, and it's like the big problem is that she just does so much damage at high ranks. Now low ranks, I don't really know. She's okay, but at high ranks, it's not the invuln. Invuln's nice and all. But it's just that, like, you can just, she's basically like a Hanzo in a way. Not quite as bad as a Hanzo, but like, you're just sitting there in the back line and just, oh, I just ran a headshot. I was a little bit low and she just one-tapped me and you're like, oh, great. Like, to have a support who also has that is just like rough. Anyway, Dev comment, this invulnerable window is primarily intended to help avoid instantly dying to something unseen after teleporting through walls, but it ended up being a little too long and led to some confusion when shooting Kiriko. That's actually really interesting dev insight. I didn't think about that. So, I actually never thought of this. The reason the devs chose this as one of her abilities, the primary driver apparently was they thought, what happens when you teleport through a wall and suddenly, oh my god, there's someone right in my face? Invuln. To like kind of get out of dodge for the mistake you made or just the surprise of you don't know what's on the other side of the wall. And you just go and then you're like, oh no. And it's like you have a 1 second, not 1 second, but like a moment of, okay, I can kind of recalibrate here. I don't know. That's okay. That's interesting. Our current goal is to deploy these changes in an upcoming update on November 15th, 2022. Should that plan change, we'll be sure to update you here. For those wanting a preview of how these changes will play, check out the Overwatch League playoffs on October 30th. Sell out. Lead hero designer Alec Dawson will be hosting a Twitter Spaces later today at 11 a.m. Pacific time on the Play Overwatch Twitter with a live Twitter Q&A to follow from his personal account at GW_Alex. Or Alec. We invite you to join us to go deeper about our current thoughts around live balance and hero design. Well, guys, that sucks. Why? No Sojourn changes. Like, man. It's Overwatch, man. It's Overwatch all over again. Like, I don't understand it, guys. I just don't understand it. Like, how do they not... I don't know. At this point, I have to believe they know Sojourn's OP, and they want her to be OP for, I don't know, I guess like 2 months. And then they're gonna rein her in at season 2. Like, they talked before about, we want each season to have a different feel to it. And I guess they genuinely want season 1, the first season of Overwatch 2, to be remembered. Hey guys, you remember season 1? When Sojourn was like having 3 characters on your team because she was so busted overpowered? Yep, that was season 1, man. I'll never forget it. Like, is that really what they want for season 1? Because that's what it is. Like, I don't know how it is, guys, at like silver and gold. Okay, I have no idea. But when you get to like diamond through top 500, it's literally like, I can't even count the number of games I played in the last 2 days. I've been playing a lot the last 2 days. And the number of games that I have played where it's like, oh, they have a Sojourn. We don't have a Sojourn. Their Sojourn actually knows how to press their buttons. All right, we lose. There's nothing we can do. There's literally nothing we can do because she's so overpowered. And it's like, Oh, they had a good Sojourn, and we had just an okay Sojourn. Everyone else on our team was way better than everyone else in their team. Doesn't matter, can't win. They have a good Sojourn. Oh, you're going to a fight, and it's just like, oh, headshot, someone dead. Railgun, someone's dead. Railgun, someone's dead. Oh, well, we just lost. Like, oh, Genji gets like a 4-man blade. Oh, Sojourn just, without her ult or anything, just killed 5 people. You know, oh, okay. Like, totally, the number of times I have said, Sojourn is like, oh, wow, you know, Sojourn, totally balanced character. Yep, totally balanced. Yep, totally fair and balanced. Nothing wrong with her. I've said that like every single day I've played Overwatch. I've said that like 10 times because of the number of times we've encountered the ridiculously overpowered Sojourn being played by somebody who's just okay at her. Like, you don't have to be insane at her. You just have to be okay at her. That's it. Like, if you can just hit things with her, it's like having 2 characters instead of 1. Like, it's like having a 6-man versus a 5-man. That's how powerful it is. Like, how do they not, like, they have to know it's this OP. They have to know it's that OP. It is so OP, it's just gotta stop. Just gotta stop. Sojourn's OP, they're not gonna fix it. That's the moral of the story with that. Well, that's all I got for you on this Overwatch 2 update. Balance changes, Sombra and Genji got nerfed, Zarya got nerfed, Diva got nerfed. But Sojourn's still going to ravage the ladder and be the most overpowered character that Overwatch has ever seen, and I guess they're not going to address it till the end of Season 1, so like a month from now, maybe? So yeah, we just got to get used to Sojourn being OP, but that's it, guys. So hopefully now you know what's going on, and that's it for this update, and yeah, I got nothing else to say about this, so that's Overwatch 2. That's the balance update coming soon? Actually, let me look real fast. Okay, I reread it a little bit there at the end. They're expecting to release this on November 15th. And then, I don't know what that means for Sojourn nerfs. If they ever decide to nerf Sojourn, is it going to be like around like the holidays? Like, I don't know. My final note on this is, guys, I hate to be the one to say it, but nothing's changed from Overwatch 1. Literally nothing when it comes to balance changes. Like, I don't say literally nothing, but almost nothing. Like, this is a little bit different, but it looks like we're going to have to expect the same balance patterns as Overwatch 1. Apparently, they have the same balanced team of human beings making these decisions, I guess, where they'll just have something just is insanely overpowered and think it's fine and leave it for like 2.5 months. They'll have metas that form around one character, and they'll probably just leave it for like, you know, 2 to 3 months. And we'll all have to go into ranked and be like, literally every single game, you go, oh, we don't have a Sojourn? Can you go Sojourn? I don't play Sojourn? Oh, I guess we lose. We'll do our best, but we're probably going to lose, like, oh, darn. And then you just lose, like, you know, 75% of the games that you don't have Sojourn and they do. Or, like, you know, it's just like goats all over again in a way. But anyway, that's the balance update, guys. So maybe the middle of November, we'll see these changes come. Until then, though, you're just going to have to play through it how it is. And, yeah, that's it. So hopefully, I don't know. I got nothing for you guys. But that's it for the update. Now you know, and I will see you guys in the next one.